Hi everyone, Flora here. It has been a hot minute since I have brought you along with me during my morning meditation walk, and so I wanted to bring you with me today. So, today I allowed myself to sleep in until 8. I actually got out of bed at 8:30, and I did not feel guilty about it. I grew up in a family of workaholics, and it's been always very hard for me, very, very hard. I normally like to change the word hard to challenging, but it's been very hard for me to relax into my daily schedule that I've created for myself. Those of you who have been following me for a long time know that I only work 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. Friday is my flex day. I work if I want to. Usually I don't. Usually that's my day for having lunch with my girlfriends, any appointments that I might have. But, and then also I usually work from 9 until 3, sometimes 8 until 3. But regardless, it's been challenging for me and hard for me to settle into that routine. And many times I'll find myself just sitting at my computer trying to make myself work or do something. And I don't like that. I mean, I know that I can get all my work done in 4 hours, and usually I do. And I have to, like I said, I have to force myself to walk away from my computer and walk away from the things that I think I need to do, which really honestly just keep me busy. And so this week we have been talking about how to live intentionally through chaos, and how to basically accept and be okay with just having like a Netflix day where you literally just sit and watch Netflix. We were talking about this in my Mastermind Mafia group, where one of the members was just like, I just want to just watch Netflix. And I'm like, then watch Netflix, but watch it with intention, and notice how many episodes of something you can watch before it starts to feel icky, or before it starts to feel bad, or you feel guilty, or whatever it is that we choose to feel. And then just watch that many episodes, and then when you're done watching that many episodes, then just stop and do something else, And she's like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so today my message for you is to find what feels good. Every hour on the hour, I have a reminder on my phone to remind me to stop and check in with my energy and to redirect. Those of you also who have been following me for a long time know that I kind of preach and teach about the 1 degree shift. The 1 degree shift simply is, what's one little pivot that I can make today that is more in alignment with who I want to be and more in alignment with what I want to feel. And so find what feels good today. Every moment that you can, that you notice that you're feeling funky or that you're feeling off, pivot and pivot again and pivot again. I mean, like I said, this is something that I've been preaching and teaching forever, but it's easy for us to get out of practice of these types of things because life gets in the way. Life happens. You know what I mean? Yes, Samantha, check in with your energy. And put a reminder on your phone, every hour on the hour. How am I feeling? What am I creating? Because we consciously create our own reality. Your past circumstances have nothing to do with where you're going. I'm going to repeat this. Your past circumstances have nothing to do with where you're going. I'm actually going to say it again because it's so important, and some of you are just going, holy shit. Your past circumstances have nothing to do with where you're going. So we have old stories. We have all this old bullshit from the past that have created our experience thus far, and have created our limitations, have created what we think we can and cannot do in our life. But in reality, if you want something different, you have to do something different. And part of that is checking in with yourself and saying, okay, so what do I want? Get really clear about that. Then ask yourself, okay, so what's one pivot, one little 1 degree shift that I can make right now that's going to help me get closer to what I want? And part of it might be watching Netflix. Part of it might be sleeping in until 8 o'clock. Part of it might be reaching out to someone that you've wanted to reach out to. But usually it's a little bit outside of our comfort zone. Like, I like to get shit done. I am a doer. And I need to be more of a beer. And because we're human beings, not human doings. I mean, I've heard that for years from people. But it's so true. And especially when you grow up. Well, my old story is my parents were workaholics. My mom literally worked herself to death. And, you know, I'm not that person. I am my own being. And what I like is to have fun. I like to walk barefoot on dew-covered grass. I like to wear my bikini 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but during the day anyway. And, you know, I like to have fun and I like to be in joy, but I also like to spread my message of hope. I like to spread my message of that you can create your future by being intentional. And once you figure out that you are in charge, and once you figure out that how you can create intentionality in your life is to just be more present and more self-aware, it's huge. Like, I'll give you an example. So I've had this block in my life since I was 12. I didn't realize it was until I was 12, or, you know, like, since I was 12, but, and I was trying to pivot in that part of my life, and I'm like, why in the fuck is this not working? Like, what the hell? And so I've been following this one person for kind of a long time. I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years. And so I actually joined her group, and we had a kind of an open mic night type thing where we got to ask questions and whatnot. And she's my new spiritual teacher. Kind of not new, but I mean, like I said, I've been following her work and her teachings for about 3 or 4 years now, I think. And so we were able to ask questions, and so I you know, shared my question and whatever, and then we met on the Zoom call, and I was the first one that she called on, and so we were talking, and I shared with her my question, and then she had made some notes beforehand based on how I worded my question in the group. And then she started to kind of, you know, riff a little bit, and then I had this huge aha moment, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I realized that there was a block that I had been holding on to, and a story that I had been holding on to literally since I was 12. My mom died in a very tragic car accident on her way to a work meeting, and which caused a chain reaction of events to happen in my life, which caused a very deep fear around work and around joy and around basically receiving without actually doing something. And I'm not going to get into the whole thing because that would take me like an hour. But, and if you're part of the Mastermind Mafia, you will hear about this later on, after I'm done processing and working through it. But I literally, as she was talking, I was like, oh my God. And she goes, wait, I just saw something. I just saw that you had a breakthrough. Tell me what's going on. And then I told her, oh yeah, my mom died when I was 12, and that caused da 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 da. And she's like, well, there you go. And I was like, holy shit. And so even those of us that teach this work, I mean, because I've been teaching this concept, the 1 degree shift concept, for, oh my gosh, I don't even know, like since 2004. And we still, because we're human, we censor and we compartmentalize. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. And we put things in ways so that we can't move past certain things. And that's why every coach needs a coach, because I can see this all day long in my clients. You know, someone will come to me and they'll say, all right, Flora, I've got this block or that block. And I'm like, oh yeah, boom, right there, boom, boom, boom. But as individuals, we try to work on our stuff ourselves. And a lot of the times when we work on all these other things, but there may be, and this was a big block that I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like, wow. And it was so right there. And I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. You know, and that's why every coach should have a coach. Every healer should have a healer. And it was mind-blowing. And so, but again, it's all part of that 1 degree shift. And so I'm able to then take that realization and apply my teachings to this pivot that I'm making in my life, and allowing me to lean into those things that are uncomfortable, and lean into those things that I thought were one way that really aren't, and find what feels good instead. So that's my message for you today. Find what feels good. And also, if you have been blocked by something, or you think that you have a block and you've been trying to do something and trying, and you're literally trying every way that you know possible, but it's not working, what I want you to do is I want you to sign up for a free strategy session, no strings attached, and I want to help you realize and recognize what your block might be, so that you can then start to make that 1 degree shift and that little tiny pivot every day, so that you can move out of this block and move into receiving more of what you do want. All right, so click the link below, and I will speak with you on the phone very, very soon. I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day. Mwah! And thank you for joining me on my meditation walk. Mwah! Bye.